Here is a quick updated tutorial on my Hippy backflip speed glitch, showing off some new concepts and implements that I've experimented with to seemingly make it even faster, as well as my quickest chained variant that I've been doing. Looks a little something like this. So for the two new concepts or implements, whatever you like to call them, just involves the right stick and holding your trigger throughout the duration of the entire flip rather than letting go, if you weren't already. These both seem to offer more speed and are applicable to both the 180 variant and the normal variant. They're just slightly different. For this first example, I'll be using just the normal variant of the Hippy backflip, just like this. First thing I'll say, and this applies to both of the speed glitches, hold the trigger the entire time you're doing the flip, because it keeps the board closer to you and allows you to press Y a little bit earlier, which is, I talked about in a previous video, where a lot of the rotational speed comes from, and it allows you to go a little bit faster. For the second part of this, it's pressing up on your right stick right after you call the board. Like as soon as you press Y or triangle, you want to press your right stick up for this normal variant. And that's going to shove the nose of the board down more, kind of like if you just ollie and you push your right stick up, the nose of your board goes down. And you're just using that to get more angle for a harder slam and more speed ultimately. Something quick I want to explain with a little reasoning as to why I think the 180 variant can be faster or offer more speed has to deal with landing in fakie. Some of the other glitches that are out, like for example the revert speed glitch that looks like this, you're required to land fakie, and that's like the only way you can get it. Some of the pops also use it. But this concept, I think, for whatever reason, adds more speed, and this is why I believe the 180 variant to be faster. Now, with that all out of the way, let's get into what you're all probably here for, my quickest updated variant, so that you can start hitting 6 spots like this. So, obviously, pretty similar concept to the normal variant, with whatever trigger you're using, you need to hold it the whole time. Same concept. However, with the right stick, how you would be pressing it up whenever you do this one, you want to pull down with your right stick instead, because instead of landing with your nose down, you're landing fakie with your tail down. So you want to pull your tail down right after you call the board. I'd like to preface for this last implement that this is completely optional, and if you do not mind landing fakie like this and waiting for your feet to swap stances so that you can chain another one together, you can completely ignore this and you're really not missing out on much other than the distance it takes to swap your stance again. However, I use this personally to maximize my efficiency in terms of chaining them together faster to get more speed out of a shorter distance. The first thing to get comfortable with for this last implement is pulling your left stick more down than to the left when doing the varial backflip. I've noticed that this makes your character do a 180 faster than if your stick is a little bit more to the left than down. He still does a pretty similar flip speed, but the 180 speed is slightly faster, and you need this for the revert. You need to be familiar with the standard revert, which is just your left stick all the way to one direction and then a smooth, fluid, almost shove it kind of motion in either direction. And you're essentially just doing this after holding your stick down at that deep angle. The final product should end up looking something like this. or like this.